Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2019 thriller The Poison Rose, a film noir inspired film that is directed by Francesco Cinquelamere, I know I've got that wrong, George Gallo and others according to IMDb, and it's a film that stars John Travolta. We get appearances by Morgan Freeman, Brendan Fraser, Famke Janssen, Peter Stormare, Robert Patrick, Cat Graham, and I've got to try and tell you what this film is about now loosely. Right, okay. John Travolta is a former football player turned PI who is given a case at the beginning of the film that leads him to the town, kind of the town where he grew up outside LA, where he has got to investigate. He's hired by an ex-flame who want him to investigate the death of a local football hero. I give up. It's rubbish. Sorry, this film is absolutely dire. I really wanted to quite like this film because I've just watched and reviewed another John Travolta film fairly recently, Trading Paint, where I was expecting to hate that and I actually thought it was alright. Certainly far more watchable than this dross. And then I thought, I saw this and I thought, this has got Morgan Freeman in it as well. Let's have a go at this. What is this? This film has got an incomprehensible plot that doesn't make any sense. You lose the will to live trying to watch it and follow it. It's full of actors and actresses phoning in performances. The only one who tries, and I think comes away from this film with some credit, is Brendan Fraser. He's unrecognisable as Dr. Miles Mitchell. A really quirky and fun performance, and you can see that he put some effort into it. Everybody else, I mean, what is going on with John Travolta? This guy played Chili Palmer in Get Shorty. Arguably one of the coolest characters ever to grace our screen, and this guy he plays here, I don't know if he tries to be like a pound shop version of Chili Palmer, but that's what it feels like. He has just lost his mojo, John Travolta. I don't know if this film it meant nothing to him or if he had obligations to do it. I've no idea. But I think this is one of the worst John Travolta performances I think I can honestly ever remember seeing. And to be honest, I don't seek out bad performances. That Gattaca he made last year, that was supposed to be terrible, I didn't want to watch it. So I just thought it was terrible. And he gives this awful voiceover narration throughout it, as film noir films tend to do, or they certainly used to do. And it's done. Do you remember Harrison Ford's voiceover in Blade Runner? Now, he hated it. I don't know if you do know that, but it's well known that he hated doing that voiceover because he didn't think his other film needed it, and it didn't, because in the proper versions it was taken out. Well, this has got this voiceover narration from John Travolta in it that is done with about as much enthusiasm as someone reading the instructions for I don't know, something bought from Argos. It was awful. I so wanted to turn this film off about halfway through because I was getting nothing out of it other than frustration and anger. Seeing all these greats like John Travolta, Morgan Freeman, who is not bad in the sense, I don't think Morgan Freeman could do a bad performance. I think if he tried, it's just there's no love in it. You can tell he's just saying his lines, but he's doing them perfectly adequately, but there's no desire there, if you like. Do you know what I mean? And Famke Janssen is unrecognisable. She's had so much plastic surgery done, which is her choice, fair enough. She doesn't look like her anymore. I just, is there any redeeming features about this film? No. I'm really struggling. Yeah, the Brendan Fraser performance is the only real redeeming feature about it, and he's not in it enough. There's no fun here. There's no enjoyment. There's no, like, modern day film noirs. Look at Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Look at The Nice Guys, both from Shane Black. He understands this genre. He understands how to make it relevant to a modern audience. This film feels old-fashioned. It feels frustratingly bad. It feels like the writing, there's been no effort in it to make it relevant to a modern audience. And those films I've just mentioned, absolutely, you can class them as film noirs. The fun, the quirky, they've got that old-fashioned retro feel to them, but they also know that they can wink at the camera because they're self-aware of what they're trying to be. And this film isn't. It takes itself far too seriously. The story isn't interesting enough to draw you in to care about any of these characters, and that's the huge problem with this film. I didn't care about any of these characters. Not one. Genuinely not one. I didn't feel sympathy or interest in any of them. And so yeah, I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. It's easily one of the worst films I've seen this year, if not the worst film I've seen this year. I strongly recommend you avoid it. It's a huge letdown, a huge disappointment, and a film you see a poster of John Travolta and Morgan Freeman on, and you get a hint that it's a film noir. You kind of get a little bit excited. Well, I got duped into that. I suggest you heed my warning and avoid this film, guys, because it is not good at all. So that is my review for Poison Rose, and a terrible film. Avoid it. So I hope you found the review useful. Thank you, everybody, and of course I shall see you next time on Screen Stars.